makes itself known, and what formerly was meaningful may become strangely emptied of value, like the world of the king's child with the sudden disappearance into the well of the golden ball. Thereafter, even though the hero returns for a while to his familiar occupations, they may be found unfruitful. A series of signs of increasing force then will become visible until, as in the following legend, the Four Seasons, which is the most celebrated example of the call to adventure in the literature of the world, the summons can no longer be denied. The young prince, Gautama Sakyamuni, the future Buddha, had been protected by his father from all knowledge of age, sickness, death, or monkhood, lest he should be moved to thoughts of life renunciation, for it had been prophesied at his birth that he was to become either a world emperor or a Buddha. The king, prejudiced in favor of the royal vocation, provided his son with 3 palaces and 40,000 dancing girls to keep his mind attached to the world, but these only served to advance the inevitable, for while still relatively young, the youth exhausted for himself the fields of fleshly joy and became ripe for the other experience. The moment he was ready, the proper heralds automatically appeared. Now on a certain day, the future Buddha wished to go to the park and told his charioteer to make the chariot ready. Accordingly, the man brought out a sumptuous and elegant chariot, and, adorning it richly, he harnessed to it 4 state horses of the Sindhava breed, as white as the petals of the white lotus, and announced to the future Buddha that everything was ready, and the future Buddha mounted the chariot, which was like to a palace of the gods, and proceeded toward the park. The time of the enlightenment of the prince Siddhartha draweth nigh, thought the gods. We must show him a sign. And they changed one of their number into a decrepit old man, broken-toothed, gray-haired, crooked and bent of body, leaning on a staff and trembling, and showed him to the future Buddha, but so that only he and the charioteer saw him. Then said the future Buddha to the charioteer, Friend, pray, who is this man? Even his hair is not like that of other men. And when he heard the answer, he said, Shame on birth, since to every one that is born old age must come. And agitated in heart, he thereupon returned and ascended his palace. Why has my son returned so quickly? Asked the king. Sire, he has seen an old man, was the reply, and because he has seen an old man, he is about to retire from the world. Do you want to kill me? Why do you say such things? Quickly, get ready some plays to be performed before my son. If we can but get him to enjoy pleasure, he will cease to think of retiring from the world. Then the king extended the guard to half a league in each direction. Again on a certain day, as the future Buddha was going to the park, he saw a diseased man whom the gods had fashioned, and having again made inquiry, he returned agitated in heart and ascended his palace. And the king made the same inquiry and gave the same order as before, and again extending the guard, placed them for 3/4 of a league around. And again on a certain day, as the future Buddha was going to the park, he saw a dead man whom the gods had fashioned, and having again made inquiry, he returned agitated in heart and ascended his palace. And the king made the same inquiry and gave the same orders as before, and again extending the guard, placed them for a league around. And again on a certain day, as the future Buddha was going to the park, he saw a monk carefully and decently clad, whom the gods had fashioned, and he asked his charioteer, Pray, who is this man? Sire, this is one who is retired from the world. And the charioteer whereupon proceeded to sound the praises of retirement from the world. The thought of retiring from the world was a pleasing one to the future Buddha. This first stage of the mythological journey, which we have designated the call to adventure, signifies that destiny has summoned the hero and transferred his spiritual center of gravity from within the pale of his society to a zone unknown. This fateful region of both treasure and danger may be variously represented as a distant land, a forest, a kingdom underground, beneath the waves or above the sky, a secret island, lofty mountaintop, or profound dream state. But it is always a place of strangely fluid and polymorphous beings, unimaginable torments, superhuman deeds, and impossible delight. The hero can go forth of his own volition to accomplish the adventure, as did Theseus when he arrived in his father's city, Athens, and heard the horrible history of the Minotaur, Or he may be carried or sent abroad by some benign or malignant agent, as was Odysseus, driven about the Mediterranean by the winds of the angered god Poseidon. The adventure may begin as a mere blunder, as did that of the princess of the fairy tale, or still again one may be only casually strolling when some passing phenomena catches the wandering eye and lures one away from the frequented paths of man. Examples might be multiplied ad infinitum from every corner of the world. End of the excerpt from Departure, Joseph Campbell's The Hero with a Thousand Faces.